Your words have to become iron-willed. And what I mean by this is, if you say you're gonna do something, that you go out there and fucking do it. Stop saying things that you're not gonna do. Hey, we're back. Welcome back to the Lewis Visuals YouTube channel, where my objective is to help you become the best version of yourself. And how do I do that? By teaching you exactly what I'm doing to become the best version of myself. Like I said already, my name is Lewis. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. It should be up here somewhere. It's also down in the description. I want to say I also put out a fire edit with my boy Chris's Audi S4. It is on my Instagram. Make sure you like that up and help me push it in the algorithm, because it's definitely a very underrated edit. It's not getting the looks that it should be getting right now. If you're a videographer or a content creator and you want to get my free LUT, the link is down in the description. And if you want to get my LUT pack, it's also down there as well. So make sure you go and check that out. And if you do use it, please let me know that you used it by leaving a comment, or send me an email, or send me a DM on Instagram so that I know that you used it. And if you do that, you could be featured in my next video as well. Make sure you check out my last video. It should be up here somewhere, and it is definitely down in the description. So make sure that you go and check that shit out. And that video was a little mad, so if you're sensitive or very soft, take it with a grain of salt. But I'm being dead serious in that video. There's nothing that I said in that video that I wouldn't say to somebody in real life. And that's because I'm authentic. I want to be myself. I don't care about other people or what they say or think about me. It is what I perceive myself as. And that is one of the important things that I want to portray in my message. Be your authentic self. I feel like I say this every video, but either way, I want to explain why this video is coming out a little later, and also why it might be a little shorter. I'm not too sure. We'll see how it goes, but it could come out a little bit shorter depending on the amount of points that I have. I also don't want to go to bed too late, and it is right now 11:35 at night. I'll explain it a little bit further why I'm recording this late, and I still have to make a clip for my Instagram and my social medias tonight. So, but let's get into it. Basically, the reason why this video is coming out a little bit later is because over the weekend I was working on that edit. Like I said, make sure you go and check that out. I wanted to make sure that I took my time with it and I wasn't really rushing it. I'm just going to say that if you think that edit is good, wait till the next one. I am my biggest critic, no matter what anybody says. And I have a lot of people who are praising me, saying that I'm the GOAT editor in Danbury. But either way, nobody judges my stuff harder than I do myself. And just know that I'm going to step it up to the next level on every edit. Word is bond, like my boy Aaron would say. And like I said, I am recording exactly at 11:36 at night. Today is Tuesday. I was supposed to record yesterday, but some stuff came up and I had to help my brother figure some stuff out, so I couldn't record yesterday. I ended up going to sleep late either way because I was making clips for my Instagram, which I still have to do tonight, which is another reason why this video might be a little bit shorter. I am exhausted, and I'm not gonna use that as an excuse to why I don't record a video. I worked my full day at work. After that, I went straight to the gym. I hit abs and legs, and I ran about 5.5 miles. Just to let you know, I am dead. Like, my legs are dead. I'm ready to knock out. I know as soon as I lay down on my bed, I'm just gonna pass out. No issues about it. But I know that any other regular person would end the day like that and then immediately just think about themselves and not think about the word that they gave to not only myself, but to you as well. Because I want to make sure that I keep my word to you. I said I was gonna be consistent with these videos, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay consistent with these videos. No matter how I feel, no matter the situation. Like I said, I am exhausted right now. I don't know if you can see it in my face. You probably can. Or you could hear it in my demeanor and in my tone. But I am exhausted right now. But that's no excuse. I'm going to be the type of person that I would want to listen to, and the type of man that I would listen to. So besides that, let's get into this video, man. I got a couple points that I want to touch down on. I was watching a podcast with Luke Belmar actually, and he was talking about something that was in the Bible. Like, I don't want to make this a religious video or anything like that, but he was giving an example about, I believe it was Solomon, and how God came to him in a dream state, and he was talking to him about granting anything that he wanted. So he said, what do you want? Is it riches? Is it kingdoms? You name it, I will give it to you. Solomon, being a very intelligent person, did not pick any of those options. He said, God, please grant me wisdom. And that just struck a nerve in me, because it makes a lot of sense. Instead of asking for the riches up front and for the kingdoms, why not ask to be wise and not to make decisions out of emotion and be reactive or spontaneous when it comes to decision making, but to make decisions out of a state of mind which is wise, and then the riches and the kingdoms will come. And that is something that I've always talked about. I believe that knowledge is really something that everybody should strive for. It is the key to many doors. The more you know, the better you will be in life. And I could use an example as well. What is the difference between a 28-year-old who is working at McDonald's, and if you know who this person is, Jamie Dimon, the current CEO of Chase Bank. On one hand, you have a 28-year-old who works at McDonald's making minimum wage, and on the other hand, you have a 28-year-old making $100 million deals with Warren Buffett at the same age. And if you haven't figured it out by now, the answer is knowledge. What does Jamie Dimon know that the other person who's also the same age as him does not know? What type of information is he using to his advantage in order to proceed in life? And I'm going to talk about that in the next video, the gaining knowledge or gaining the advantage part. But wisdom is the way to go. I was actually asking around in my job, and I said, oh, what would you ask for? And people said money, people said females, and then I forgot what the other one was. I only asked about 3 people. Then they asked me, and I said wisdom, because I just watched that video with Luke Belmar, and then I explained it to them, and it made so much sense. I wouldn't ask for money or for kingdoms, because I know that the smartest person, the wisest person, the most knowledgeable person will always have the advantage over everybody else. And before I even say this, I don't want to sound like I'm boasting or that I'm trying to say I'm better smarter than anybody, but a couple of people have been hitting me up talking about me becoming their mentor, or why don't I have a mentorship program. The exact phrasing that they use is that I have a 40-year-old mindset and I'm only 22 years old, which is a compliment in itself, because that goes to say that other people believe that I am wise beyond my years, and I also believe that as well. Like I say, I have that self-confidence to the point where it's delusional to other people, but I don't care because I know who I am as a man. The reason why I don't have a mentorship program, or I don't take on other people as my mentees, is, well, apart from my little brother, that's the only person that I would really mentor at this point right now. The only reason why I wouldn't do it is because I want to make sure that I accomplish a bit more of my goals before I take on a challenge like that, because I want to be authentic. I want to make sure that I lead by example. I don't want to be somebody who is talking the talk but isn't walking the walk. I want to be that person who is authentically themselves and is at that high level in order to portray that level of value and not have to fake anything. Because what is the point of me having to fake something when my whole purpose of this channel is to help you become the best version of yourself? And I also know that there has to be 3 levels of mentorship in anybody's life. You have to have a mentor yourself, you have to have people who are at your level or a brotherhood, and or you also have to have a mentee. I believe that I have a mentee with my younger brother, and that's the only person, like I said, that I would mentor at this point in my life. I also have a brotherhood. I have my group of guys who are absolute killers. And I also want to talk about this actually before I even get to the last part. I'm working on a community of entrepreneurs. It's going to be called the Snipers Community. I am right now developing it with one of my partners, and then when that is ready to launch, you'll see it live on my Instagram. I'll probably post a reel and I'll probably post it on my story as well. At first, it's going to be invite only. I want to make it an absolute killers group chat. I want it to be a place where we can all help each other grow and not be envious when a brother is winning. I don't want any soft people inside of that group chat. I want everybody to be hardcore killers and who are ready to take over the world, who are ready to take what is theirs. Like I said, make sure you stay on the lookout for that. But either way, I also believe that I am at the point in my life where I also want to make sure I get my own mentor. I want to get somebody who is way higher than me and is able to add value while I add value to their life. A lot of people get that relationship wrong. They are very entitled and think that the other person should be chasing them the whole time, when the other person is already at the point where they want to be. The other person does not have to be doing this for you. You have to show value and provide value to the point where they see the hunger, they see that fire already lit inside of you, and that's the reason why they want to help you. I'm not afraid to pay for a mentorship when it comes to somebody who I know is a killer, not literally, but I also want it to be a relationship where it's not just about the money, not just about me paying them, a relationship, a bond. But that is the reason why I don't do the mentorship program myself, or I don't have a group where I mentor. That's why I'm focused on mentoring my younger brother, and I'm building this new community of entrepreneurs where no matter the level of entrepreneurship that you're at, everybody could be learning, because we're only as strong as our weakest link. So that is something that I want to take into consideration, and I want everybody else to take into consideration as well, is that teamwork. And like I said, Rambo doesn't exist. If we have a band of brothers who are there for each other and who aren't there to snake each other, there's no way that we're not going to succeed. There's no way that we're not going to elevate at a way higher pace. I want to make sure that I accomplish a couple more of my goals before I even think about having an open mentorship program where I take on a challenge that huge. It's definitely something that I've been thinking about, and it's something that's going to happen in the future. I just believe that right now I want to make sure that I am walking the walk before I talk the talk, even though I'm at a very high level right now in terms of finances, relationships, mental health, and honestly building an overall multi-dimensional mind. Shout out Da Vinci. This is one concept as well that a lot of people don't really understand that I wanted to talk about in this video, and that is you need to be willing to suffer today to become something tomorrow, and or delayed gratification. This is something that I've been pushing on my brother a lot, and a lot of people really don't understand around me. I'll give this example. My family wants to go on vacation a lot, and I say I'm not at the point where I want to be right now. So I see it more as a distraction. I see it as temporary dopamine hits and not something that is really fulfilling, because you go to vacation and you spend whatever time it is. It could be 2 days, it could be 2 weeks, but then you always have to come back to reality and to a life that you don't really want. And that is something that I've always thought about. Why would I want to go on vacation to escape my reality when I could just work with my head down in order to go on vacation whenever I want, to a point where it becomes a choice whether I want to come back or not. I don't want to have to come back and have to worry about paying bills because I wasn't getting paid while I was on vacation. I don't want to be worried about hearing somebody's mouth at a job that I hate, and I want to make sure that I have systems in place which allow me to be on vacation while still maintaining the structure of my businesses, and most importantly keeping that income coming in. So that's something that I always do. I'm always thinking about the future. One, because this world is moving very quickly. Things change on a daily basis, and if you're not understanding this, you're already behind the curve. Things are moving so fast, and if I'm thinking in the future, by the time that they get to what I'm thinking about, I'm already ahead. So I'm already past that, and I'd rather, like I said, work now, so that later on when I'm in my old age I don't have to work, even though I'm still going to be doing it, because I know that's the type of person I am, and I want to make sure that I lead by example even into old age. But I want it to be a choice that if anything does happen, that I don't have to be worried about my next paycheck or paying my bills when I'm not able to work. I guess that's a very mature way to think about it, but that's just the way I think about my life. And another point that I want to touch on is your words have to become iron-willed. And what I mean by this is if you say you're gonna do something, that you go out there and fucking do it. Stop saying things that you're not gonna do, especially if you want to speak things into existence. That's literally the way of doing it. For example, if I say I'm gonna run 5 miles, I'm gonna run those 5 fucking miles. If I say I'm gonna do this certain workout today, I'm gonna do that workout. If I'm gonna finish my edit on this day, I'm gonna finish my edit on this day. Something that I've always noticed is that us as humans, we tend to say a lot of things that we don't really mean. And what is the point of that? You're just wasting energy. That's something that I've been very conscious about. I'm a very vibrant personality. Like, I like to talk a lot. That is very hard for somebody like me, especially when I'm around my people. Like, I just love to talk, and they know, like, I'm a funny person. You may not see it in these videos because I'm a lot more professional, but if you catch me on the street and we're having a conversation, you best believe I'm gonna have your ass dying. Make sure that your word is iron-willed. Or like my boy Aaron would say, word is bond. Make sure you stop saying things like, oh, I'm gonna beat you up, if you're not gonna actually beat that person up. If somebody's messing with you and you say, stop it, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking throat, and you don't do it, you just lied to yourself and to that person. So now they're not gonna take you seriously. But for example, if you say, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking throat, and they continue to do it and you punch them in their fucking throat, I guarantee you that they're gonna think twice before they ever do something like that ever again. And that's what am I dead? I need to stop. I'm not from New York. I got 2 more points I want to touch on before I end this video off. I need you to become more pissed off. Me personally, I'm fucking pissed that I don't have the life that I want. And obviously I'm working to get to that point, but sometimes I struggle sleeping at night because I'm thinking about, okay, what am I gonna do? I have sleepless nights sometimes when I'm trying to get sleep, when I'm actually trying to get sleep, because I know I'm gonna reach that point, and I want to reach that point so bad that I can't sleep. I'm pissed off. Instead of taking that anger out on other people or taking it out on vices or doing something that I know I shouldn't be doing with that anger, I put it towards my work. And that goes to say my last point. You need to develop a positive mindset towards work. You need to become the person who becomes fueled by doing work. Let me iterate a little bit more. You're obviously on my channel, and if you're on my channel, you understand that this is an entrepreneurship channel. This is a channel where I always talk about becoming your own boss, dictating your life, and not having anybody else telling you what to do, where to be, or who to be with. Having financial freedom and having the freedom to do whatever you want to do, what is actually intended for you to do in this world, because a lot of people are living in survival mode, and I don't want to be that person who's living in survival mode. I want to get out of that, get out of the matrix. You need to be working for yourself. That is what I'm trying to get at. You need to be building for yourself instead of building for another person. And yeah, you can make a lot of money building for another person, so I would never take that away. If you have a corporate job and you're a higher up in that corporation, you're gonna be making good money, but you'll always be a slave to the person at the top of the totem pole. You need to stop thinking about working for yourself as something that is inherently negative. Turn it into something that is inherently good. If I take the correct steps and I do the work and I do everything that I have to do on a daily basis in order to build my business, build relationships, and work on my mental and physical health, I will reach the point where I am financially stable. I can take care of my family both physically and, like I said, financially, but most importantly, I have freedom. That is what's most important to me, apart from taking care of my family. I want to have the freedom to do whatever the fuck I want to do, and the only way to really do that is to fall in love with your work ethic, fall in love with the process, fall in love with being in pain, and get fucking pissed off because you don't have the life that you deserve. And I want to end it off on that note. That's a perfect way to end the video. Like I say every video, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and comment, and share it with a friend that you believe has this mindset or needs to develop this mindset. Make sure you do what is needed to be done, not what you want to do. If you're a videographer or a content creator and you want to get my LUTs, they're down in the description. Make sure you check them out. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm going to sleep.